everybody, today I'm going to be demonstrating you a typical workday as a server at my job, 1808 American Bistro. A few months ago I was promoted from being a busser to a server, and I quickly realized that there's a general routine of the job. Of course not every day is going to go the same with different customers, but there's about 3 parts to the day, right as soon as you get there, in the middle of your shift, and then right before you're about to leave. So first I'm going to start out with as soon as you get there. Of course, like any other job, you clock in, and our clocking computer is in our server station. In the server station, we have cubbies that everyone has a name tag. You put your name tag on the cubby that you'd like, and that's where your bills go in for the whole night. I also like to keep my phone, a cup of water, and then my supply bag in the cubby. And in my supply bag, I have a lighter because for every birthday or anything, we have candles and need to light those up. A couple extra pens, and then some notepads for notes, of course. Also in the server station, we have on our board what the soup of the day is, any specials that we have, and then also any like food that we're out of or any drinks that we're out of in the bar. So you need to make sure to write those down as you go. And then once you're all settled in, then you go up to the host stand, let them know that you're here so they can start seating you, and then also need to double check to see which tables you have. So you write that down also in your notes. So then once you know that, you can go up to the tables that are in your section, make sure they have silverware, glassware, anything like that, make sure they look really nice and neat. And from there, you pretty much just wait it out until you get a table. You can do a couple side work things, cleaning up and folding napkins, stuff like that. But once you see the guests at one of your tables, then it's officially time to start the workday. So before approaching a table, you go grab a water bottle, and then as you're pouring the water for them, you introduce yourself. You usually ask how everybody's doing. I say my name, and then I ask if anybody wants any drinks other than water. From the get-go, you need to make sure to write down what everybody wants, just so you don't forget anything. And then also be prepared to answer any questions about the food and what it tastes like and stuff, like for allergies and such. So once you get the drinks orders in and you bring it back to the table, then you ask them if they'd like any starters, like soups, salads, any appetizers like that. Some occasionally they'll give them the entrees as well during that time, so you need to make sure when you're ringing in the food that you spread it out evenly so they don't get like their appetizers and their entrees at the same time. You want them to have a nice, calm, enjoyable experience. And as I said before about allergies, you need to make sure to write down substitutions or special requests for that, just so the kitchen knows that like they don't want to cross-contaminate anything. So once their appetizers are out and you tell them to enjoy, you just let them sit for a while, let them enjoy themselves, and then come back a little later to see how they're doing. Check to see if they need any drink refills, ask about getting entrees in if they haven't done that already. And also with entrees, if they get a specific type of meat, you need to make sure to ask for the meat temperature, like medium rare, and stuff like that. So once the entrees are in and once they go out to the table, ask them if they need anything else, like salt and pepper or anything like that, and then let them enjoy. Come back in a few minutes and ask them how everything's tasting, just in case something's cold or not cooked correctly, anything like that. And then just throughout your shift, continuously walk by their table, see if they need any drink refills, anything like that, plates out of the way, because you don't want to bother them too much, because then they'll get bugged by you and it won't be a good experience then in that case for them. So once everybody's done with their entrees, ask if anybody wants any dessert menus, because it's separate from the actual menu. If they do, you go and grab them, let them look it over for a couple minutes, and if they have a birthday or an anniversary, then let them know that they do get a free dessert. Usually the hosts will tell you this, or they'll mention something for that. And then once everyone is all finished eating with the desserts, or whether they get it or not, ask them how they'd like to split the check, and then bring them the desired checks. Wait until they have their method of payment in, just occasionally go by and see if they have their credit card out or anything like that. Once they do, cash them out, and then return them to the right people at the table. Tell everybody that it was wonderful having them there, and just to tell them have a good night. And that's pretty much it for that. You just need to make sure to feel out the vibe of everybody and how they are, because some people you'll want to be more professional with, but then other people you'll be able to joke around with for a little bit. So, and then you also just need to manage your time in between tables, because they'll be at specific spots throughout the day, like someone will be on their entrees, someone will be on their appetizers, and so just make sure you give them each the desired time that they need to. And as the night goes by and you notice that you have a couple tables left, then you can start doing your closing shifts. So yeah, before you leave, there's a couple things that you need to do before you leave for the night. Depending on when you came in, it will be when you were cut, or that's when you won't have anybody in your section anymore. Once you're cut, then you have to do some side work, which is based on which section that you're cut in. It's just like cleaning up and stuff like that. So after all your tables have left and they're all wiped down by the bussers, then you need to sweep under them. And also, last thing you do is you put your tips into the computer, put your cash out sheet for the night, and get it signed by the closing server, and then you give it to the manager. Once your manager looks over that, then they'll give you your tips for the night in cash, and then you're good to go. So in conclusion, there's a lot to remember to pay attention to as a server at 1808. You have to prepare for the day once you arrive, give your tables thorough and attentive service throughout the shift, and do your closing duties before you head out for the night. Thank you.
And you?